These guys, not only are they charismatic, but they're awesome. They're building great teams. And Kristy was just transplanted from Houston to, I don't know if it's Fairfax or in the Virginia area, but she came up here. I was so excited for her. She was petrified that I said, you're going to open up Virginia for the company. You know, I'm moving to a new city. Well, lo and behold, there were some other IdLife people there, and you'll meet one of those this afternoon. And now she has a great team in Houston, and now she has a great team in Virginia. Give it up for Cindy Nicole. Kristy, none away.
That slump after lunch, right? Okay, get your shots out, okay? You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it because we've got so much more still coming. I'm excited I get to do this with Cindy. We're gonna have some fun with this. We're both gonna cover different topics though. I'm gonna start with the art of the one-on-one appointment. And I think that's one of my favorite things to do, and so I'm so glad they asked me to do that. She's actually going to talk about having effective mixers. What do you think about that? I know, my team is like, we're ready. Take notes. But I'm going to talk about the one-on-one appointment because I'm more of a relational girl, and that really works well for me. You know, I actually have this saying in my team that one-on-one gets it done. One-on-one gets it done. Because I know that I've met their specific needs. So it's really easy for me to do. The mixers are a little harder for me, so I cannot wait to hear what you're going to teach. So great.
I'm so excited to do that today too. Mixers are one of my favorite things to do. It's my happy place, as Olivia calls, make your happy place. It's fun, you get to be with your team, and it's just, you know, a good thing.
So we truly believe that you need both in your business. You can't just depend on mixers. You can't just depend on a one-on-one. It's really a marrying of the two of them. So we're going to go over that, and I'll get started. So first of all, I want to set it up because how many of you would love to see 5 or 6, I don't know, for me it would be awesome, 5 or 6 or 7, even 10 one-on-one appointments set up every single week? Would that be good?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to show you how. Ready? Okay. I want no more excuses after this because I'm about to show you exactly how to do it, and there's not one of you in the room that can't. All right, so here we go. So first thing is the setup. Now, I can't just send you into a one-on-one appointment if you don't know how to set the appointment to begin with. Yeah? Right. Okay, so let's start there. All right, so first things first, make a list. And now I know you hear this all the time. It's even in our success system, right? It's in our guidelines. Make a list. I don't remember what it says. Does anybody remember how many people it says to make? Is it 100? Okay. All right, well, don't kill me, corporate, but I say start with 30. 30 is a manageable number, that's why. When I tell somebody to make a list of 100, if they're a go-getter, they're doing it, they're going for it. I told Beth to make a list of 100, and she said, yes, ma'am, and she went for it. So I say just start with 30, and then we'll go from there, all right? So I tell them, make a list of 30, and I don't care who they are. Don't prejudge who you're writing down. Not this first list, okay? Because it's a lot of pressure, and if you've never been in an industry like this before, I want you to understand that they don't know how easy this really is, so you've got to give them a few, let them have a small success step before you show them this huge galley they've got to fill. Does that make sense? Okay, so little things. All right, so make a list of 30, and then I have them number them, take that list and number them as 1s, 2s, and 3s. Okay, they're 1s, 2s, and 3s. And here's how I do it. The number 1s are the ones where I call them, I know they're going to say yes. I can get a hold of them, get their behind on the phone. I know they're going to meet with me, okay? The number 2s are the ones I'm like, I think they will, I hope they will, I pray they will. You're not sure, but you hope, okay? And then your number 3s are the ones that you know are going to say no. How many of you got your 3s already in your mind? Who are they? They're your sister and your brother and your aunt and broke under Uncle Harry, right? We know these people, but Kristy told you to make a list of 30, so they're on there, all right? So how do you make that list? Who do you draw it from? Okay, again, no excuses. I just moved back here to Northern Virginia, so I'm really starting from scratch again. And you make a list, and we call it the Frank's list. I'm sure you guys have heard that term. It's friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, your kids, friends, parents, and I use an S on the end, my spouse's coworkers, if you have a spouse. So that's how I do it. What? He's married to me, he owes me a little, right? That's what I tell him anyway. So I want you to make your list based off that. It's really easy to do. Now here's the thing. Why do I number them as 1, 2s, and 3s? Because the number 1 people are the ones I think are going to say yes. I'm not calling them first. I know that might seem a little backwards, just hang with me. Your number 3s you want to call first. Why do I want to call my number 3s first? Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. And I already know what they're going to say. It's no surprise. I already have an expectation that they're going to say no. I would rather screw up my verbiage on the one I already knew was going to say no before I get to the ones that I really want to have. Now, let me give you a little more psychology on this. If I started with my number 1s and some of them said no, would I want to finish my list? No. Not even me. I'm pretty unafraid of most things. I don't like no. I don't like rejection. I feel terrible when somebody tells me no. It hurts my feelings. I'm a woman. Come on. I mean, we have feelings. Men feel that way too. They just won't say it out loud. So I start with my number 3s for that reason alone, because I'd expect them to say no. And how great is this? What if you called your number 3s and some of them said yes? Right? Wouldn't you be so freaking excited to get through that list? How many of you have brought on somebody you thought definitely probably will say no? Yeah, I have too. I brought on people that said no and then came on later. Okay? That happens all the time. Any of us that have been in long enough, or I would say if you've been in this business from the beginning or in the industry for a while, you've seen that. So just keep in mind that that's important. Now here's the last thing I'll say on this. When you're doing your 1s, 2s, and 3s, if they say no because of timing, they can't meet with you, schedule another time. When's the next event? Okay, no problem. Thursday is not good for you, or this week's not good for you. You know, I'm actually having a mixer next week, which she's going to talk about, and I'd love for you to come to that instead. Okay? So just move them over. Don't let them go. Don't let the fish off the reel. Keep reeling. Okay? Keep coming in. All right, so that's kind of my tip on how to just where to start. Because some people really just don't know. Most of us are not experts in the industry, and we got to start somewhere. All right, so identify who. Now, I have to give credit on this one because I've done this training before, and I added this because the fabulous Mr. Peyton over there, Korik, him and I were chatting, and he gave me this. So I'm giving full credit here. I'm just using the words. That's all. All right, so you identify, after you got your 1, 2s, and 3s, now you want to identify again. You're going to bring that list down even smaller. And how that's going to look is this. Out of those number 1s and 2s and 3s, right next to them, and identify them that way, who are the people that are the most influential out of those groups? Okay? So I'll just write a little I next to it. If they're influential, they make more money than me, they've got more friends, they've got a better lifestyle, they've had more success, you know, whatever you consider to be more influential. That's different for all of us, I get that. And then I'm identifying the people who are the same as me. And those people, those are typically like your neighbors. If you work, they're your coworkers, things like that. You know, you kind of have the same lifestyle, you kind of had the same amount of success in life for the most part, all right? And then the third group are the ones that look up to you. Okay, you all know somebody that looks up to you a little bit, right? Even if it's a child. Okay, we all know somebody. So you want to identify them into those 3 categories for a very specific reason. So if you've numbered them to the 1, 2s, and 3s, and then you've identified who you're going to talk to, now you're ready to, I'm hitting the wrong button, ask. Yep, you actually have to open your mouth. Sorry. It doesn't do it by itself. You know, it just doesn't. So you do have to ask. Now, what do you say? This is the question. I don't know about those of you that are leaders in this room. You get this all the time for your team. What do you say? What did you say to them? And I'm like, you can't be me. I'm not you, you're not me. But I can give you some guidelines, some bones, and then make it yours, okay? So if they are somebody that looks up to you, well, that's an easy one. Absolutely easy. That one I just say, you know what? I have found something that's phenomenal, and I thought of you first. We got to meet for coffee, girl, this week. I'm free Friday or Saturday. When are you free? We got to get together right now. Why? Because she trusts me. She looks up to me. I say she just because those are my girlfriends. So understand that's the easy one. But those aren't always the ones that do really, really well. There are some. It's usually the ones that are the same as me or that are more influential that tend to run right away. Not all the time, but a lot of times. So that's an easy one. What about if they're the same as you? Okay, so here, let me think. I would say, you know what? I think, follow me, I think I have found a way to eliminate some debt this year. Could you come over and brainstorm this with me?
That's good.
You follow? Okay, could you come over and brainstorm with me? Brainstorming with somebody means that you're an equal and that you trust their judgment and they're gonna trust yours. It's a back and forth, okay? That's easy, all right? Third one, this is one everybody's scared of, and guess what? Even me. Even me, the veteran in this business, is totally scared of this one. And I still have a chicken list. I still have a few people on it I haven't touched yet. Well, I'm human. Come on, you guys. I'm human. All right, but I got this verbiage specifically from Corey, so we'll give him credit on this one. My influentials, and this actually reminds me a lot of what Jennifer Moran has taught in the past. If you've heard her speak on heist, you know what I'm talking about. So this one, you're just gonna go, this is the easiest one, because you're just gonna say, you know what? These are people that you already know are sharp and are smart. Look, I need your opinion on this. Can I meet with you? Because I need you to look this over before I dive fully into something I know nothing about. You are not the expert when they are the influential one. Even if you are, you're not. So that's it. Easy. You know what to say, now say it. So we're gonna move on to the date. All right, so I am a quality time girl. If you know anything about the 5 love languages, if you don't, look it up. Quality time is my number one. So this is where I live. I love the date. Now, I want you to think about that guys, there's a lot of guys in the room, I want you to think about it. When you go on your date with your wife, or for the first time with your girlfriend, if you're married, you should be doing this every time, I'm just telling you. If you're going on a date with your girlfriend, don't you come prepared? Okay? You hopefully bring flowers or candy or red bottom shoes. Sorry. He's talking about the spray paint and I was like, yes. Anyway, off track. Okay, so you're coming prepared. You're coming with supplies, right? You're arriving on time. Nobody wants to feel like their time is not valued. Don't do that. You want to go in as if you're going in for a job interview, you guys. Like, put your best face for it. I hear this all the time. Why don't I just go in my workout sweats and my ball cap? And I'm like, dress for the job you want, not the one you have. Come on. Is this a $1 billion industry or not? How do you expect them to trust you that you make money or that you can make money looking like that? That's insanity to me. Absolutely insane. I want them to look at me and say, that girl makes money. Yes. Why wouldn't I want them to think they're going to immediately have that trust? So just please be prepared and understand that when you are meeting with them like that, that you want to give them everything that you've got as your best face forward, just like you're on a date. Okay, so that's you being prepared, arriving on time. Oh, one more point on that. I always text them the night before. I always text them the night before. Super excited to see you tomorrow, or whatever that verbiage is for you. Okay? All right, so number 2, form. Now this one I got from Logan. Don't you love how I'm stealing everybody's stuff? Jennifer, thank you, Corey, thank you, Logan. Okay, so I'm just smart enough to repeat it, that's all. So, form. So Logan teaches us to form them. Now we have the date and we're sitting there, we're doing our thing, we're having our Starbucks, and I want to get to know who they are. So forming them is finding out about their family, that's the F, finding out about their occupation, and yes, if they're stay-at-home moms, Lord have mercy, that is an occupation. Don't even play, okay? I'm a homeschool mom. It's an occupation. I'm just saying. R is recreation. What do they do for fun? Okay? The M I'll get to in a minute, so just hold that one. All right, so you're going to do these things, and you're going to be asking them the questions. You don't want to tell them about your whole life. There's plenty of time for that. Once you get your business, you get to know them, right? Okay. You want them to feel like you care about who they are, because you should. And if you don't care about people, I don't know why you're here. So take a minute, ask the questions, get to know who they are. It's so important. what do they say? If you let people talk long enough, they'll tell you everything you wanted to know about them. Have you ever heard that? This is so bad. It just came to me. Did you ever hear that joke? The vegan, the pastor, and the CrossFitter walk into a bar. How did I know? They told me within the first 5 minutes. Come on, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Okay? That's what I'm saying though. If you let people talk long enough and ask them questions, they'll tell you about themselves. Why is that important? It's important for point number 3. Now, here's the great part. You get to meet them where they're at. Meet them where they're at. This is so important, you guys. I want to know how IU Life helps them. So if they're talking to me about their kids, guess what? I'm talking to them about the kids line. If they're talking to me about a financial situation that's been costly for them, I'm talking to them about the business. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm finding each and every spot of where that conversation needs to come from. That creates that common ground that shows you were listening to them. Okay? If you were thinking about what you want out of this conversation versus what they want or need out of this conversation, you're going the wrong way. It's got to be the other way around. Okay? So, let's move on. Colors. I like this one. All right, number 4 is colors. Logan kind of alluded to it a little bit. Have any of you ever done the color test? Raise your hand. Let me just see. There's a few of you. Woo! Okay. Leaders in the group, you need to know what your colors are in your group. If you don't know that training, message me. I'll send you the documents on that. It's amazing. I love it. And I'm just going to tell you real quick. Okay, so I'm a red personality when I'm in training mode and in business mode. A red is going to be somebody who is strong in business, doesn't want a lot of detail, like Logan was saying, quick text back and forth, not going to go into a long dissertation about their life with you. It's very much a type A, move it forward, get out of my way, okay? That's the military upbringing in me. There is no plan B, there's only plan A, okay? All right, so that's your red. Your blue or your girl, people who want to have fun. They want to be with their social groups, they want to hang out, everything needs to be fun and people-oriented and that kind of thing. All right, and then there's your yellow. Those are typically your humanitarians, the people who want to nurture and help other people and take care of other people and serve other people in that way. And then there's your greens. Your greens are your brainiacs. That's what I call them. I love that. They're smarter than me, and that's okay with me. All right, so they're your physicians and your doctors and your nutritionists, okay? These are people who need information. Well, why are these colors so important? How are you going to know what you're going to talk to them about based on those things? So before I can get the commitment, I gotta know. So, if Marty starts talking to me about saving all the puppies in the world, he has lost me. He's lost me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Do I love animals? Yes, I have them. I don't care though, all right? If you start trying to give me 50 different ingredients that we carry in our shakes, I don't care. Does it work? Does it work? Does it make money? I'm in. All right? But you gotta know who I am to know that. You also gotta know the blue part of me. I'm a girly girl. I wanna be with my girlfriends. I wanna go away for weekends. I wanna do everything quality time oriented. So talk to me about that stuff, because that's where you're gonna get my attention. Is this making sense? So huge. So that's why forming them is so important, so you know how to approach them next. That's why you do the form first, and then this part. Okay, commitment. There we go. All right, so commitment. This is the last one. Now, this is the part that everybody dreads. Getting them to commit. Getting them to say the word we all want to hear. Yes. Right? Yeah? Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip here. It came from, again, I didn't do this one, I love it. It came from a book I read called GoPro. Any of you ever read GoPro? Woo! Write it down right now. I see half the hands in the room. Write it, right now, write it down. You'll thank me later. GoPro by Eric Warwick. Industry I was in before was direct sales, not network marketing. They're different things. I knew nothing about network marketing before I came here. Nothing, zero. I listened to Eric Pro's podcast and the book I downloaded to my phone. Now I know what I'm doing. Seriously, it was that quick of a switch. All right, so I want you guys to get that. So I got this from him, and he was saying to get the commitment. So this just depends on what you're talking about. So like, Cindy, I'm going to use you. Is that okay? All right. So she's got no idea. She's like, what are you doing? All right, Cindy. If I give you this sleep sample to take home, would you try it? Sure. Awesome, okay. Could I follow up with you later this week and see how you liked it?
Yes.
Awesome. So could you try it by Wednesday then, and I could call you Thursday?
Yes.
Awesome, okay, great. So I will call you Thursday.
Yeah.
Great, okay. See how I was getting the yes, 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 yes. I think it's called the Socratic method of selling, where you're eliciting the yes for the easy questions, so that when the hard question comes, they're already in a yes mode. All right? I'm not trying to manipulate them. I'm just trying to create good endorphin feelings going on over here, okay? So it's the same thing with the product line. You know, I might say, would you like to sleep better? Would you like to have more energy? Would you like to see if we can help out psoriasis? Would you like to see if we can see if this ADHD thing your son's got going on might be helped with what you've got going on, since that's my story. So I want you to understand, ask the yes questions, you'll get the yes answers. Make sense? Okay, so always make sure that you're always looking at it from that angle, because when you're doing that, you're again meeting them where they're at, meeting them for what they want to know. Okay, so that's how I get a commitment out of them, regardless of what it is I'm trying to get from them. And if it's a business conversation, then, you know, one of my favorite ones is, could you use a little extra income? Oh, look, he says yes. I love it. He says yes. Let me tell you something. Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, would say yes to that question. Do you know anybody that would say no to could I use a little extra income? The richest people, Logan Stout would say yes to that question. That's my favorite business one. Could you use a little extra income? Because it doesn't insinuate anything. Okay? When they say yes, well, sure. Great. Let me show you what I've got here. Done. Is that helpful? Okay, good. All right. So then closing. Now, this one's really hard. And I mean hard in being able to teach it. Why? Because every person you meet with is different. Every person I'm conversating with needs to be closed differently. Following me? Okay? So one of the techniques I use is nodding my head at them. Okay? And as I'm doing that, all of you are doing it. Okay? That's one technique. But I use different verbiages just depending on who I've got in front of me. One of my favorite, other favorite authors, I love to listen to her podcast, is Dani Johnson. Any of you ever heard of Dani Johnson? Yeah, she's great. D-A-N-I Johnson, fabulous. Lots of free stuff on there if you like the free stuff. I like the free stuff. So this was her. She's got a script closing. Am I saying that right? A book that's got a bunch of closing scripts in it. Love it. My favorite one. I'll give you that. Would you like to tap your toe in the water and start with the lowest package and just see how this works for you? Or do you want to take advantage of the full comp plan and go all the way with me? Done.
Like it.
Oh, you want to say it again? Okay. Again, this is a conversation between Horik and I. We've been having this back and forth too, and then Dani Johnson trained it too. So I'm like, all right, well, that's what we'll use. So would you like to come in at the lowest package and just dip your toe in and see how this works for you? See how this fits for you? Or do you want to take advantage of the full comp plan and go all the way with me? Done. Now, either way, I'm good. Just get in. Just get in. Like he was saying in the beginning, he wasn't, but now he's like, just come on. Where do you want to go? Well, come on. You're doing it with them, not for them. And you're meeting them exactly where they're at with what they want. Because that means you're paying attention to who they are. So, that's it.
Okay, everybody, how we doing? Yeah. All right. Like I said before, the mixer is, I think, one of the best ways to meet people and get to know your team better. The first thing that you want to do is make your guest list. Keep calm, make your guest list. You want to go to your memory jogger in your success planner, page 13. It gives you a whole area of the different people that you could hit up, like your hairdresser, your postman, all different things that will jog your memory. Another thing that I always say is you might want to look at your wedding list. If you had a wedding, who would you invite to your wedding? I would bring them to a mixer. So you want to put, like Kristy said, 100 names. If you can't get to 100, stop at 30. So no prejudging. No one is to be prejudged about this at all. Everybody needs what we have. Agreed? Yes. Okay, so when you're putting your guest list together, you want to include your team members. Your associates that are in your downline, you want to open it up to other teams too, because the more the merrier. You're going to bring in all of your people's guests, and it's just going to be more fun for everybody. First time ever using one of these. Okay, you want to pick your venue. My topic is on home mixers, but a lot of people will say, my home's not big enough. I have an apartment. Where can I go with this? I basically like to do them in my home. Logan says to have them every day. I have one usually twice a week. I have them on a Thursday night in my home, and then I go to a coffee shop, which is just a local coffee shop, and I do that in the daytime. So I'm looking at different people and different times of the day they could actually come. Because you have your entrepreneurs, you have your stay-at-home moms, different people that have different times of days that they could come. Your second shift people that might work second shift, nurses that are 3 to 11. So you want to look at a different time. Or you might want to hook up with a business partner, do it together. If you have an apartment and they have a home, then you're going to do it together in their home. You want to maybe look at a restaurant, a hotel. You don't want to spend a lot of money on this. You can really, really have a good time without doing that. You want to look at the time, like I said before. You want to look at your, once you put your guest list together and you know who's coming, you kind of want to look at the time of day that these people could come. 7 o'clock is usually the time that we always seem to pick. But I know on my team, I have second shift workers. They could never come to this. They could never invite their guests to my house. And look at the geography, like where you're located. So if you need to go, to, the restaurant or whatever, it might be a better place for you to hold your mixer. Okay, there's different ways to invite people to your mixer. As you can see here, I did a poolside mixer in August. And that was my invite that I did there. I sent it out by mail to different people. If you have if you're doing one, say, and it's kind of a special event like this was, I had a little bit of time that I could do this. I got the invitations printed out, and then I went and I handed them out to people too. So, excuse me, I'm saying and I don't want to do that. It's my first time talking in front of a big group like this. Okay? I got that out of the way.
Yeah.
So anyway. Thank you. You can invite over social media. Some people do the Facebook invite. It's good and it's not good, because you'll hit all those people, they'll say, no, I'm not going to come. Some people don't even see it. I don't really get onto Instagram and Twitter all too much. I'm learning that more. You can actually do LinkedIn. So there's different ways that way. You can send out emails to people, or the traditional mail, like I said, with my postcard that I sent out. Another, I think, really the best way is to get on the telephone and talk to your people. They hear your voice. They hear what you're doing. They hear the excitement, okay? I have so much passion for this business, so when people talk to me, they want to know what I'm doing. So then you want to send out reminders once you've kind of gotten, maybe the RSVP or whatever, if somebody hasn't hit you back. You want to send out a reminder and say, hey, did you get my invitation? Do you think maybe you could come? You want to tell your team to do the same thing, because your team is going to be inviting people too. Okay, getting ready for the mixer. This is a table display. Actually, this is Chris McDonald, who made Senior Director today with me. So she's my second associate ever in my business. So she's a nutritionist, a great person. So we put a display table out. This was done last year, I think over a year ago. So you can see there's no skincare line on there or anything like that, but this is kind of what we do. We put out our nutrition packs. I usually show mine. I show my husband's. We're two different people. He's a male, I'm a female. I went through breast cancer. He's, a smoker. He loves to drink his beer. So we're like, completely different. So people can see that strip. I have a binder right there, the notebook, the ID Life binder. And I put my printed out assessment in that binder. People can actually go there and they can flip through it and see it. They can touch, see, and feel your product. They can look at the labels. So it's a really, really good thing to do is put a display table out. You might want to think about sampling. Don't get too crazy with it. My two favorite products to sample is Hydrate and Energy. Sometimes I'll mix up a gallon. Sometimes I might not mix up a whole lot because it'll be, it won't never really go to waste because then I just put it into the refrigerator and we drink it anyway. But so, you might want to look at maybe sampling some shake. I think shake kind of goes bad if you mix up too much. If somebody's there and they want to taste it, you want to maybe mix it up on the spot. You want to pick out your videos that you're going to show at your mixer. I usually like to pick two. You want to think about who's there and what sort of group that you're showing this to. So if you kind of are showing more of a transformation, you might want to pull out Jen Winstrom's transformation video. If you're looking at more of just showing people the nutrition, I think the Paul Sullivan video is good. I think the Fox News video is good. And then I'll always do the mixer video with Logan. Then you want to think about, are you going to do appetizers and drinks? At my pool mixer, we did that because it was a big event for me. So I went and got some things. I asked, some of my teammates to bring some things over. So we kind of, put it all together. I always have bottled water. Alcoholic beverage, that's totally up to you. Some people like to do wine, so, it's totally up to you. The agenda, you want to look at your agenda. So again, you're going to have 2 testimony speakers, I believe would be good. You might want to look at one that had, a health transformation, weight loss. You might want to somebody share what they've done in the business. Is a good thing. You want to reach up to your upline or your leader. Always have like somebody that knows more about the business really than you do. I just think it's a really good thing. Make sure that you ask them. If the one can't do it, I know my upline's awesome. I always can get somebody there. So that's basically that. This is your house cleaning moment, or putting it together. Do you have pets? I do. Everybody that comes to my mixer knows my little Yorkie, Oscar. Oscar likes to bark at you. He will sit on your feet and bark at me, okay? He'll jump up on your lap. He just wants attention. So, I know there's probably a lot of pet lovers up here, but we just kind of thought this was cool. Like, look at that guy's face. Like, maybe he doesn't like pets. So you want to kind of think about that. Maybe you have a cat and somebody's allergic to your pretty little kitten. So, that's just one thing you might want to look at. The children. If you have children or somebody's bringing children, you might want to look at putting a little separate area aside and hiring a babysitter, or ask somebody that in your downline or your upline or whatever that has a, teenage daughter or something. Will they sit down and color with them or whatever? It's just better to have them kind of out of the way so your prospects and your guests will, be able to think straighter, that, they're not being bugged by kids. Noise level, you want to keep your noise level down. You want to make sure that your cell phones are off, put them away, and you just want to have pure comfort for your guests. Your temperature in the house, a lot of times it's either too cold, like it was in here, I know everybody's kind of freezing, and or either too hot. You want to make them very comfortable. Okay, so if you have associates coming that are on your team, you want to make sure that they come early. Let's get them there, because when they're inviting their guests, and you don't know them, okay, they're coming to your door, and you're like, I'm supposed to be with somebody. It's better that they're there to greet them too, okay? Always give them a warm welcome. There's Trish and Jackie sitting by my pool having a good time. Anyway, so you always want to start on time. You have a 7 o'clock time. Make sure it's 7 o'clock. Everybody's time is just really, important to them. Okay, so now we're going to start the mixer. The host always opens the mixer. They are going to welcome everyone, thank them for coming. They might tell a little bit about themselves, what rank they're at, you know, why they came into the business, that sort of thing. Your videos, again, you know, you want to make sure, actually I should go back a little bit, make sure your equipment is ready to go. That has always been a problem in a lot of mixers, that your equipment is not working. You don't have your USB cord, your HDMI, like I'm not real good with all that kind of stuff. Make sure like you have it going, you know, ready. So your videos will be scalable, so it will again be put to like who's going to be there. Your testimonials, speakers will most likely come up next, and then you're going to have your host introduce your guest speaker. Your guest speaker will then talk about, you know, who they are, what rank they are, you know, why they came into the business, maybe their previous job, that kind of thing. You always want to end on time, okay? So, we always have a meeting after the meeting. So after you have ended, you're going to demonstrate leadership by saying, you know, the guest speaker basically will come back and say, whoever invited you here today, please get with that person. We're going to have laptops up and ready, iPads, have them fired up, have your associates' websites up and ready to go. This has worked so well for me, you know, to not like have to scatter around for, you know, who's going to be signing up with who, because you're going to want them to do assessments, maybe just order product, and you always want to suggest signups. Basically, have fun. That's what we do. We have fun at our mixers, and I'm going to add one more thing. Don't ever get discouraged if you have a mixer and not one guest shows up. It happens, believe me. It has happened to me so many times. I sit there, you know, I'm discouraged, and this is what we do with my team. We never ever let that time go by where we don't utilize it. Now we are all together as a team, we're going to have a training session, okay? This is what we do. Like I said, I do one at a coffee shop on a Friday morning at 11 o'clock. Bob Cooper came, we had no one show up. We're going to utilize Bob Cooper because he's awesome with LinkedIn, and he exactly did that. He showed us how to use the LinkedIn, and it's just really a good time to, you know, not waste. So anyway, have fun. I love doing mixers. If you have any questions about what I do, you know, please ask me. I just think they're really a good thing.